Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are coming back to Britain. And this time, their return is not just another royal visit. The couple are reportedly preparing to move back to the United Kingdom with their children, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet, after spending around 6 years living in the United States. But there is one question that has royal watchers talking. How does Queen Camilla really feel about it? After years of tension, Harry's explosive memoir, public accusations, and painful family divisions, the Sussexes are suddenly returning to Britain. And Camilla may find herself much closer to the story than anyone expected. But here is where things get interesting. Because although the Queen has not publicly revealed exactly what she thinks about Harry and Meghan's return, her recent actions may tell us something. And one private family meeting has already changed the conversation completely. For years, the relationship between Prince Harry and the royal family has been complicated. Harry and Meghan stepped down as working royals in 2020 and eventually established their lives in the United States. Their departure was followed by interviews, documentaries and Harry's memoir Spare, which contained deeply personal claims about members of the royal family. Camilla was also mentioned in Harry's memoir, making their relationship particularly sensitive. Yet now, the atmosphere appears to be changing. In July 2026, King Charles and Queen Camilla hosted Harry, Meghan and the two children at Highgrove House in a private family meeting. It was particularly significant because Archie and Lilibet had not seen the grandfather in person since 2022. And now comes the biggest development of all. Harry and Meghan are reportedly preparing to return to Britain for an extended period. So what does Camilla's silence actually mean? Queen Camilla has spent years watching the royal family deal with one of its most difficult internal conflicts. She has seen the relationship between Harry and his father deteriorate. She has also watched the monarchy move forward while Harry and Meghan built a completely separate life across the Atlantic. But Camilla has rarely responded publicly to the controversy. That silence is important. Unlike some members of the family, she has generally avoided turning private disagreements into public battles. And perhaps that is exactly how she intends to handle Harry and Meghan's return. Not with dramatic statements, not with public confrontation, but with caution, because a return to Britain does not automatically mean a return to royal life. According to current reporting, Harry and Meghan are expected to remain non-working members of the royal family. They will reportedly live in a private residence rather than a royal property, while continuing their independent activities. So Camilla may not be preparing to welcome Harry and Meghan back into official royal duties. Instead, the bigger question may be whether she is willing to welcome them back into the family. There have been reports suggesting that Camilla's attitude toward Harry and Meghan may have softened. But viewers should be careful here. These claims come largely from unnamed sources and royal commentary. There has been no official statement from Camilla confirming that she has dramatically changed her position. What we do know is more interesting. Camilla was reportedly present when Harry, Meghan and their children met King Charles at Highgrove. And that meeting was described as a private family occasion. That means something significant happened behind closed doors. The family sat together. Harry was reunited with his father. The children spent time with the grandfather. And Camilla was part of that private moment. No public statement. No dramatic announcement. No photographs released by the palace. Just family. Could this be the beginning of a genuine thaw? Perhaps. But it would be too early to say that everything has been forgiven. Because royal reconciliation is rarely that simple. Harry's return to Britain could create a completely new dynamic. For years, he has lived thousands of miles away from the royal family. Now, if he and Meghan establish a more permanent base near London, physical distance will no longer be the same barrier. And that could mean more opportunities for family meetings. More opportunities for Archie and Lilibet to spend time with their royal relatives. And potentially, more opportunities for Harry and his father to rebuild their relationship. Recent reports suggest that King Charles has been especially important in Harry's decision to reconnect with Britain. But there is another major complication. Prince William. While Harry's relationship with his father appears to have experienced some warming, reports indicate that tensions between Harry and his brother remain unresolved. And this is where Camilla's position becomes fascinating. Could she become one of the people helping keep the peace? Or will she simply stay out of the conflict? If Camilla has learned anything from years inside the royal family, it is probably this. Sometimes silence is more powerful than words. Imagine the pressure surrounding Harry and Meghan's return. Every facial expression will be analyzed. Every royal meeting will become a headline. Every photograph could be interpreted as a message. If Camilla openly embraced the Sussexes, critics could accuse her of changing sides. If she appeared cold toward them, headlines could suggest that the family feud is still alive. So perhaps the smartest strategy is neutrality. Be polite, be respectful, protect the king, and, most importantly, protect the institution. That approach would allow Charles to rebuild his relationship with his son without forcing Camilla to publicly revisit every painful moment from the past. And it could also protect Harry and Meghan from another media storm. Because this time, the family may be trying something very different. Privacy. The July meeting at Highgrove may be one of the biggest clues to what happens next. Reports described the reunion as highly private. There was no major public photo opportunity, no grand royal announcement, and no attempt to turn the family gathering into an official engagement. That matters, because if the royal family wanted to send a message that Harry and Meghan were officially returning to royal duties, this would have been the perfect opportunity. Instead, the meeting remained personal. Family before institution, children before cameras, and perhaps that is exactly what Harry wanted. He is not necessarily returning to become a working royal. He may simply be returning to reconnect with the country he once called home. And to give his children a stronger connection with the British family. But there is one issue that could make this reunion extremely complicated. Trust. Harry's previous public revelations created enormous tension inside the royal family. And once private family conversations become public, rebuilding trust becomes much harder. That is why the secrecy surrounding the Highgrove meeting could be significant. The family appears to have kept the details tightly controlled. And perhaps Camilla understands that reconciliation cannot work if everyone is constantly worried about what might appear in the press next. There is also the question of security. Harry has repeatedly raised concerns about security for himself and his family in Britain. As of August 2026, there was still uncertainty surrounding arrangements for the Sussexes' return. So their move back is not going to be completely straightforward. There are practical problems, there are emotional problems, and there are unresolved family problems. This is where we need to separate fact from speculation. Has Queen Camilla publicly said she has forgiven Harry? No. Has she publicly criticized his decision to return? No. What we can say is that she was present during the private family reunion at Highgrove. And the couple are now preparing for an extended return to Britain. So perhaps the most accurate description of Camilla's position is not anger. And not complete forgiveness, but cautious acceptance. She may understand that families change. People grow older, children grow up, and sometimes, after years of conflict, people decide that rebuilding a relationship is more important than continuing an argument. But now comes the question everyone will be watching. What happens when Harry and Meghan are no longer occasional visitors? What happens when Archie and Lilibet are attending school in Britain? What happens when family birthdays, Christmases and private gatherings become possibilities? And what happens if Harry wants a larger role in British charitable life? Current reports say the couple will remain non-working royals, meaning this is not a formal return to royal duties. But proximity changes relationships, and relationships can evolve. Perhaps this is not a royal comeback at all. Perhaps it is something much more personal. A son returning closer to his father. A grandfather getting to know his grandchildren. And a family slowly testing whether old wounds can finally begin to heal. Queen Camilla's real feelings may remain behind palace doors. And perhaps that is exactly how she wants it. But one thing is certain. Harry and Meghan's return has reopened a chapter that many believed was permanently closed. The question now isn't simply whether Harry and Meghan are coming back. The real question is, can the royal family learn to live together again? And could Queen Camilla quietly become one of the people helping make that possible? What do you think? Do you believe Camilla is genuinely ready to welcome Harry and Meghan back? Or do you think she is simply being diplomatic for the sake of King Charles and the monarchy? Let us know your opinion in the comments. And if you want more updates on Prince Harry, Meghan Markle and the British royal family, subscribe and turn on notifications, because this royal story may only be beginning.